Hello, and welcome back to the Effective Weight Loss for Moms podcast. I'm really excited that you're here today because today we're going to be talking about how we can stay active on vacation. It is Thanksgiving week, and if you're listening to this when it comes out, and so a lot of times when we go on vacation, our activity level really tanks. And today I have 10 ways for you to stay active while you are on vacation. But I do want to preface this though. This is not from a perspective of you need to stay active so you don't gain any weight on the holidays, because that would be awful. This is not where this conversation is going. Why I want you to stay active on vacation is because I know that you feel best when you are active. You feel more energetic. You feel less sluggish. And if I'm being honest, a lot of times, especially if there's a flight involved, when I go on vacation, it messes with my digestive system. And you know what I'm talking about, right? And so being active helps with that as well. And there's nothing worse to me than being constipated while I'm on vacation and feeling bloated and gross. And so being active really helps things to keep moving more than just your arms and legs. All right. So I want to feel my best while I'm on vacation, and I want you to as well. And a big part of that is having movement. So we are not taking this from the perspective of we are punishing ourselves for all the high calorie Thanksgiving food that we're eating. No, our mindset is we are trying to feel the best we can while on vacation. So that's where I wanted to start from that perspective. Now, at the end of this episode, you're going to have 10 ways to help you stay active and feel good while you're out of town. And you can do these while you're in town too. It's kind of the same thing. If you're hosting family, a lot of the time your activity levels mimic when you're on vacation, right? Now, I do want to say there is no judgment from me, though, if you do want to keep your same gym schedule. I often do that. If I'm hosting people, I will keep my same gym schedule that I do during normal times because that makes me feel the best. Okay. So if you want to do that, that's totally fine. This episode is coming from the place of, I'm assuming you're going to be out of town. Your routine is going to be very different than normal. And these are 10 tips to help you incorporate intentional movement while you're out of town so that you can stay feeling your best. Okay, so that is what we're going to be talking about today. Yay, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I do want to say though, is it's going to require intentionality and also, maybe your family may be like, why are you doing this? It's going to be a little go against the flow, but I want you to lean into that. You can do hard things. All right, so let's get to these 10 tips. Tip number 1 is walk, don't drive. So if there is any way at all that you can walk somewhere versus driving there, then I want you to choose that. What a great, easy way to incorporate movement into your day. So what this could look like, for example, is you're going to a restaurant and the restaurant's half a mile away and there is feasible walking paths, right? It's not on a busy highway. Why don't you just walk there? And then you can walk home and you're getting this post-meal movement, which is going to help with utilizing the blood sugar rise, right? The extra carbohydrates that you ate from dinner is going to help utilize those because after you eat and then you go and exercise, it helps to blunt that blood sugar spike a little bit. What a great way to use walking. So walk, don't drive. That's tip number 1. And this just means that you're going to have to start thinking outside the box a little bit, especially if your family comes from the perspective of we don't walk anywhere. You can change that. You can change that perspective. So that's the first one, walk, don't drive. Number 2, set up a mini workout routine before you leave the room. So you could call this a little mini workout stack. So what I typically have my clients do, if they have asked me for something to do on vacation, that is more of a program routine, I usually do something along the lines of 3 sets, like a circuit. So you would do a set of 10 squats, a set of 10 hip thrusts on your bed, and 10 push-ups, modified if you need to, and then repeat that 3 times. Do that before you leave the room because you're not coming back. You know that. You're going to start getting on with the day, chatting with your relatives. You're not coming back. Okay. So that's a great time to place that is right after you get up, before you start getting ready for your day. Do a quick 10-minute workout circuit like the one I gave you. 3 sets of 10 squats, 10 hip thrusts, 10 push-ups. Modify anything as needed to your personal situation. That's the second one, mini workout routine. Number 3, set a step goal. If you have any sort of fitness tracker, you can look at your baseline and you can set yourself a goal. And this can be unique to you. So if you're going somewhere where you know you're going to be walking a ton, maybe push yourself a little bit in the step goal department. Or if you're going to visit family and you're thinking, I'm probably not even going to meet my step goal because we're not going to be doing a lot of walking throughout the day because we don't have that sort of planned activity, then modify your step goal down. It's not about being perfect. You're really just trying to give yourself the feeling of accomplishing something so that you feel productive. That is a great feeling. And you are allowing yourself to have that win. And what that's going to do as you compound that over the week, when you get back, you're not going to feel like you're behind and starting over. We don't want that. So set up a step goal, modify it if you need to, if you have a wearable fitness tracker. Number 4, this one's probably my favorite. 20-minute sharks and minnows games with the kids. So if you know sharks and minnows, it's essentially kind of like tag. You can Google how to play it. It's super fun, but my kids love to play this. And we actually did it recently. My son had his 2nd grade music program recently at school, and we had to get there 30 minutes early for him. And then we were waiting for 30 minutes before the program actually started. It was at his elementary school. And so instead of just sitting there, because my kids don't just sit anywhere. Does anyone else have kids like that? They don't just sit. There's no such thing as sitting. So they were climbing on the tables and I'm trying to wrangle them. And I finally was, this is not working. We're going to go outside to the basketball court. And so we played sharks and minnows on the basketball court. It was so much fun. They got their wiggles out. I got extra movement, got my heart rate up, and it was a really fun time. And man, did they laugh. We all laughed. And really, that's what vacation's about, right? Spending time enjoying each other. And so I wanted to add this one to my list because I felt like it was a really natural way to get in a big dose of fun and activity at the same time with your kids. Obviously, if you have movement struggles or impairment or whatever, you may have to modify. But this is a fun way. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Say, hey kids, let's go in the backyard. We're going to play sharks and minnows. And teach them how to play and have a blast for 20 minutes. That is going to be a great little cardio burst for your day. So that's number 4. Number 5, family races. And I encourage you to do 3 rounds. This is one of our favorite things to do as a family as well. We will go out to, we have this green area behind our neighborhood that has a little walking path and a lake. And we go out there and we will race. All of us just get in a line. We do 3 or 4 rounds and just see if you can beat your kids. You probably can't beat your kids, but just race them. Show them how fast they are, right? And that is a really quick way and fun way to get some activity in. And, you know, you may find that you start to really enjoy it. I did this for a long time with my kids where we would routinely go out a couple times a week and it would be my cardio for the day. And they had a lot of fun too. And that's good for them too. So that is number 5, is to do family races. Number 6 is squat breaks with a timer twice a day. So for this one, what I want you to do is I want you to set an alert on your phone at twice a day, maybe like 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And it's just going to be a little reminder that says, do 10 squats. And wherever you are, stop what you're doing and do 10 squats. It doesn't have to be 10 squats. It could be 10 lunges. It could be 10 wall push-ups. It could be whatever you want it to be. Something that's going to give you a little burst of movement, whatever you're doing. And that alert will stay there, at least it does on my phone, until you hit complete on the reminder. And so if you can't do it right that second, it'll still stay there. And then when you get a chance, it's on your mind and you're able to say, oh yeah, my 10 squats. So that is number 6, is squat breaks with a timer twice a day. Number 7, stand versus sit if you can. If you are doing something where you're watching something or you are waiting, I'm thinking restaurant, waiting for a table at a restaurant. If you can, at all possible, stand versus sit. Sitting really blunts what's called muscle protein synthesis. And I know most of the time, like the biggest impact is your long stretches of time through the day. For example, when you're working, you want to make sure that you are getting up and moving every once in a while to not have that big blunt in muscle protein synthesis from sitting. But it's a good practice to have your brain sort of trained to say, hey, this is an opportunity to stand. You could shift from one foot to the other. You could pace a little bit. The idea is you're not sitting. Okay. So that's what we're going for. It just gives you this little extra burst of movement while you're waiting for something. That's number 7, stand versus sit if you can. Number 8, choose active activities that are movement centric versus all sedentary ones. So when you are planning, and you can do this now if you haven't already left for vacation, when you are planning the activities that you guys are going to be doing as a family, if you are planning or if you're at any part, you're part of that process in any way, I want you to think about how many of these activities that we're doing as a family involve sitting versus how many involve movement, and really push for doing ones that involve movement. Things I'm thinking of off the top of my head: roller skating, ice skating. If you're going somewhere really cold, you could do sledding, hiking, going to a museum. That's a great way to get movement in because you're walking. Laser tag, what a fun way to get movement in, versus things like going to a movie. And also, there's the added benefit of interaction with your family members. I think a lot of the time you want to spend time together, but a lot of the common activities involve just sitting around. And so I want to encourage you to, and I'm encouraging myself in this too, really think about, are these activities movement centric? And it also forces a lot more interaction with each other. Another thing I just thought of was doing an escape room. I did that with my brother-in-law and sister a couple years ago, and it was so much fun. And we are interacting with each other and moving around, and we just had a really great time. So that's another one for you. All right, that was number 8. Okay, now I'm on number 9. Number 9 is to take the long way. So you know how your kids are always asking for a shortcut? Can we take a shortcut? Can we take a shortcut? This is the long cut. Think about ways that you can make it take longer to get to the place, and you have to actually move more. So parking further away instead of circling the parking lot like a vulture waiting for a spot, right? Instead of doing that, park at the back of the lot and you'll just walk in. That's an example of take the long way. Number 10, and this one's super fun, is do a stair challenge. If you're staying in a hotel or somewhere that has stairs and elevators, have a stair challenge one day within reason. Obviously, if you're staying in New York City and you're on the 30th floor, it might be a little difficult to walk up the stairs every time, right? But you could walk to the second floor and then get on the elevator. right? So no elevators and use the stairs. You can do this within any range you want. It could be one day that you do it, like, hey, everybody, we're going to do a stair challenge today. Or it could be every single day that you're there. You customize it to you. It's about what works for you, right? But I think this is a really fun way to get movement in and make it work for you. If it's just one flight of stairs, that's still one flight of stairs, right? So you now have 10 ways that you can stay active on vacation. And I don't want you to choose all of these. Choose maybe one of them. Just pick one and say, okay, I'm going to really make an effort to do this one thing. And you remember, you're doing that because you want to feel good, not because you're eating higher calorie food or you feel guilty about missing your workout. That is not our motivation. Okay. I want you to remember that. So I hope that you use these 10 ways. And if you do, I would love to hear about it. Shoot me an email at rachel@effectivefitnessforwomen.com and let me know what you did. I'll talk to you next time on the Effective Weight Loss for Moms podcast.